Hello there and welcome back to All Things Korean. In this video, I thought I would just talk about a phenomenon, something that occurs in native Koreans when we're speaking in everyday conversation. I thought this might be an indicator of your own level of fluency in Korean. So if you find yourself doing this when you're speaking in Korean, then it might be a sign that you are reaching a certain level of fluency. So this is obviously just one out of many indicators that your Korean is becoming fluent, and it shouldn't be taken too literally. It's not a 100% indicator either. It's just something that makes your Korean sound a lot more natural. And what I'm talking about is something that is called expressive lengthening. Expressive lengthening refers to the tendency to lengthen certain syllables in a word to emphasize it. Now, this expressive lengthening is not limited to the Korean language. I think it's safe to say that it can be found in maybe every other language. I can't be too sure. I can only speak for English and Korean. So I'm going to give you a few examples in English first so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So, for example, in English, we can say things like, I'm so tired. We lengthen the so to emphasize how really tired we are. Another example in English is, this place is beautiful. So I lengthen the beau in beautiful to emphasize how beautiful this place really is. My last example in English is, I can probably make it. So probably is emphasizing the uncertainty. So if you say, I can probably make it, it means that you really can probably make it. It's more inclined towards the can make it. But if you say, I can probably make it, it means it's probable, but you're not really sure. So this is probably not just English or Korean. I'm sure in your own language, you can lengthen words like these to accentuate something within a sentence. In Korean, it's a similar system to English. I think the words that we mostly lengthen are adverbs and adjectives. And usually we lengthen these words to intensify the grade or the level or the size or intensity. It just intensifies the adverb or adjective in general. So I've prepared 5 examples today to illustrate how syllables can be lengthened in Korean. Number 1 is 저는 높은 건물에서 살고 싶어요. So I want to live in a high building, but it's not just any high building, it's a 높은 건물. So it intensifies the height. So it's a really high building. Number 2 is 저기 모자 쓴 사람 보여요? So this translates to, do you see that person in the hat over there? And over there means 저기, but I lengthened the 저기 to mean that it is over there, but it's not an immediate over there. There's a distance between us. So it's over there, like all the way across the street or something. 저기 모자 쓴 사람. If I say 저기 모자 쓴 사람, then it's probably relatively close. Whereas if I say 저기, it means it's pretty far. Example number 3 is 어제 꿈에 커다란 호랑이가 나타났어요. This translates to a big tiger appeared in my dream. Now I can use modifiers like 진짜 커다란, 정말 커다란, 매우 커다란 호랑이가 나타났어요. But what I did instead was I lengthened the first syllable in 커다란, and that intensified it for me. It means that it's a really big tiger. 커다란 호랑이. Example number 4, 가만히 누워 있으면 잠이 올 거예요. If you lie still, then you'll fall asleep. But it's not just still, it's still. 가만히 누워 있으면. So by lengthening that particular word, I mean to say that you have, if you're really still. So again, instead of the modifier, I just lengthen the word. 가만히 누워 있으면. And my last example, number 5, is actually a commercial that I remember from years and years ago. This was a TV commercial for a brand of student uniforms. So in Korea, we wear uniforms in middle and high school, and there were different brands that you can go to buy your uniforms. So there was this particular brand called Ivy Club, and their slogan was 다리가 길어 보이는 학생복. 다리가 길어 보이는. So they're saying our school uniforms make your legs look long, and it's not just long, it's long. 다리가 길어 보이는 학생복. And I will share with you a bonus example to explain that it doesn't always have to be the vowel that is lengthened. You can also place emphasis on the consonant as well. So for example, 이거 진짜 맛있다. This is really yummy. There are two ways I can emphasize it. I can say 이거 진짜 맛있다. I can lengthen the vowel and say 진짜 맛있다. Or I can place emphasis on the consonant and say 이거 진짜 맛있다. 진짜. So I pause between the two consonants for emphasis. And this example, I think, can also be carried over into English. We can say, this is really good. So we can lengthen the modifiers that intensify the adverbs or adjectives, or we can just lengthen the adverbs or adjectives themselves. Now, one thing to note is that expressive lengthening is not a critical component when it comes to language. That's why you shouldn't take this too hard, because you can still be completely fluent in Korean and not lengthen your vowels at all. So you can say the same sentence without lengthening anything, and it doesn't change the meaning of the sentence, and you can still get your point across perfectly well. This lengthening is just something to add drama to the sentence. It literally means expressive. So you're lengthening your syllables just to be a bit more expressive. It doesn't mean that if you don't lengthen your syllables in certain words, then you're not fluent. That's not the case. You can still be very, very fluent without any expressive lengthening. However, if you do notice that you are lengthening certain syllables when you're speaking in Korean, it means that you instinctively picked these patterns up, because these words that are expressively lengthened in Korean are not going to really be taught in a classroom, because it's not necessary. No one's going to tell you when you say 높은 빌딩 or 높은 건물, you can lengthen the 높은 to make your point. No one's going to teach you that. You're probably just going to notice it when other people say it and incorporate it into your own speech. So this is just something that occurs naturally. It's a native speakery kind of thing. If you think about your own language and how you emphasize or lengthen words in your own language, you probably might notice that second language speakers, so for example in English, someone who is not fluent in English will probably not use this expressive lengthening in their speech. So I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm going to add in a little disclaimer, this is an indicator that your Korean might be getting a lot more fluent. However, it's not a must, and you don't need to force yourself to lengthen certain words to try and sound fluent. That's completely unnecessary. I'm just saying that if you do happen to notice yourself lengthening words to make your emphasis, you're probably going to sound a lot more natural. But it also needs to come to you naturally. It's not something that you can just categorize and study. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to shed some light on a certain aspect, certain side, certain characteristic, certain feature of the Korean language. If you want to share similar examples in your own language, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to learn about it. And I hope this video kind of helps you in your general understanding of what the Korean language is like. And to see more videos and content about Korean language and culture, please subscribe to All Things Korean, and I will see you in the next one. 다음 영상에서 만나요.